Okay, so oil pastels. Again, these are like a really creamy crayon. Okay, they're made with both pigment, which is the color, and oil. Two vocab terms that we need to keep in mind for this page, and that is tint and shade. Tint is your color plus white, shade is your color plus black. So we're doing another value scale, light to dark. So first step is trying to create that value scale using oil pastel. Over here on the right, I wrote down those steps. So shade with one color. This is going to be my with white, so this has to be my lighter end. I'm going very light. Again, you're just watching this one. Very light. And then I will build up after that effect is done. All of the shades look the same right now. I'll go back, skip box number 1, add another layer. Just like I would color with colored pencils, except I've got to be careful to not add too much pressure. Trying to build up my value scale. This one is going to be just my color. This one has to be a little bit dark and a little bit dark. Okay, I think I'm ready for some color mixing. So my white is going to go in my first 2 boxes. You guys okay over there? Okay, when I add my white, this really is like a mixing tool. So you can see this white layered on top really smooths everything out. Okay, check that out. I'm going to do the same thing here, but not quite so much white. This is like a blending tool, putting the white on top. When you layer colors and you get it to be really, really a creamy effect, you lose that white of the paper, and that's where you get that smooth technique from. Then I'm switching over to black. Again, black takes over. We've got to be careful. A little bit of black in this one. More black in this one. And then I'm going to go back over these because I don't want to put my black down really hard like I did for the white. I'm going to pull my color again and really blend with my color now at this point. You can also use a Q-tip or paper towel to do blending. I really like when the blended effect is done with the pastels. The creaminess really takes over and it's pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to go and add a little bit more color to this one too. Okay, so now we have our light, our actual color, to our dark. Oil, pastel, tints, and shades. We're going to do similar things here. So this one, again, is going to be just my color. This one, I can add my white with pressure to really see those two differences. This is a sgraffito technique. This is kind of cool. So first, we're going to use a really light color. I think I'm going to pick this really light green here. And I'm going to color this whole thing in with a medium pressure, not too much pressure, but I also don't want the white of the paper showing any longer. And this is kind of going to be like when you do those black scratch off papers, you're kind of like making that yourself. Okay, and then I'm going to put a darker color on top. I'm going to go with a darker green. I think that'll be a cool value effect. This is going to go on top really dark over all of it. The whole box. It does start to mix a little bit. I want to keep going until I actually have the dark on the top layer. And then I'm going to use my other end of my Q-tip, the wooden end, to actually draw something in here. When you scratch one layer off from the other layer, that's when you get what is called a sgraffito technique. And you should see that other color come through. So because I used 2 greens, I kind of have a tint and a shade. And then our last one is creating form like we did on our value worksheet day 1, trying to create the illusion of this being a form. So I'm going to choose a color. I think I'll stick with my blue because I have a good light blue and a dark blue here. And I'm going to shade this. My light source is up here. So the lightest part should be coming down right here as my light, and then it's going to gradually get darker on the opposite edge as my darkest. And I'm going around my circle for shading. And then I'm going to use my white and my black as well. So you've got your directions down here. Shade the circle to show form. Add a darker color. Instead of white and black, I'm going to use a darker color and a lighter color. So remember, like yesterday, we did some shading with black and white, and then you can also shade with color. So where that light area is, I'm going to use a little bit of lighter blue to mix in. And then where my darker area is, I will go ahead and use a darker blue to mix in. And here's some dark. And I can just add it in like this, to like little tiny bits. And I can use my Q-tip or my finger to kind of smear things together and blend like this. Or, like I said, I do prefer going and layering with these and really making it kind of a creamy effect. And I can layer with one color and then the other to blend in. Okay? Go ahead and give it a try, guys. Okay, I'll get you one.